most intense, thrilling, electrifying sport on the planet. Mixed martial arts. You've been looking for the definitive podcast to call your new home to hear everything about it. The search is over. This is the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. Bringing you the hottest MMA breakdowns straight from the heart of the octagon. This show is all about MMA breakdowns. For fans, by fans. We're talking UFC, MMA, and the occasional big boxing match. We'll bring our unique take on how these fights are going to play out and who we think are the best bets. Welcome to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. And now your hosts, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and Emiliano, a.k.a. Jive Turkey Nano.
What is up, fight fans? Welcome back to another episode of the MMAnomaly Show, No Filter. I'm your host, Olin, a.k.a. MMAnomaly, and with me as always, or rather as usual here lately, is the co-host with the most, Jive Turkey Nano. Folks, we got the turkey back in the house. He has no longer flown the coop, and I couldn't be happier to see the man. How we doing, my friend? How are the holidays?
Let's go. Great to see you, brother. The holidays are great, man. It was good. Blessings all around. Surrounded by, just a lot of gratitude, friends, family, and some good holiday adult beverages as well. And bringing in the new year as well. Was off the grid for a little bit, like you said, brother. I've, been a little MIA, but as we all should around this time of year, hope everyone took some time to unplug, unwind, count your chickens, make sure you take time just to pat yourself on the back. We did it, y'all. We made it through another year. Happy holidays to you as well, brother. Hope you and the fam enjoyed it. And, hey, man, it's 2025. It's a new year, baby. A lot to look forward to, but, hey, man, before we look forward, we got to know where we've been, right? And I think that's the moral of the show here, the antithesis for why we're here on this beautiful Friday evening or night or day, wherever you are, whatever time zone you're in. But I'm excited, brother. It's a lot to discuss, man. Can't wait.
It is a lot to discuss. It is definitely a lot to discuss. A lot to think about, man. As everybody in the chat knows, and shout out Tico Tech in the chat already, my guy.
Tico. What up, gang?
As you know, we have the award show coming up in just a couple weeks, folks. We're going to be working on the editing for the next probably week and a half, 2 weeks. Get in these last minute votes this week and, getting everything all pulled up and ready to fucking go, kids. So with that being said, if you have not voted, I already dropped the link in the chat. Make sure you check that out and get your votes in, folks. We do this for you. We appreciate you, and we appreciate that you appreciate us, appreciating mixed martial arts. So with that being said, today's show is going to be about none other than MMA futures. That's right. Top to bottom, bottom to top, like a Pringles can. Once we pop, the fun won't stop. We are going to go through all of the weight classes. We are going to pick our favorites. Maybe not Vegas's favorites, but our favorites. And hey, we got a handful of them right last year. We didn't do a damn good job at tracking them. So, we are going to do a better job this year. We are going to put in these bets nice and early. So that way, come time for Christmas and New Year's this year, Chris Kringle will be paying us a visit with these MMA futures. So with that being said, Nano, where do you think we should start? Should we start at the top with the heaviest of heavy, or should we start at the bottom with the lightest of light?
Ooh, I like it. First off, I appreciate you saying that. We're keeping the receipts, y'all, all right? We're sticking to it. Well said. Man, I feel like we usually go from the top down, but should we switch it up a little bit? Maybe go from like a good snowball, just build into the lower weight classes. I'd be down for that. We can start with the heavyweights. It's probably, for me, I felt like there's more conversation with the lower weight classes. There's a little bit more, stories. There's some potential changes. I feel like the upper divisions here, I'm pretty set in stone on what's going to be happening here, but I like switching it up, maybe going heavy, give the big boys some love.
Let's do it, brother. Let's do it. So looking at the heavyweight division of the UFC, right now, look, the elephant in the room is John Jones, and he is every bit of an elephant in the room, folks. He's sitting on the throne, but do we know if he's actually going to fight again in the year 2025? I simply don't know, Nano. I'll tell you that. but I'm curious to hear your thoughts. I'm curious to hear what you think. So it seems like you have everything set in stone for heavyweight. So first things first, why don't you go ahead and read off what the futures have listed on DraftKings Sportsbooks odds. So what are the top 5 viable options, and who do you think is the most viable option of those 5?
I love that. I'll happily do so. Let me find them. So for and this is a shout out DraftKings, our typical sports book that we utilize here. I'm in Arizona. It's legal. So for DraftKings, for UFC men's heavyweight, it says June 30th on here. I'm interested to see if that's something that's supposed to happen before then. Well, no. Maybe that's just when it was posted. Oddly enough, it says underneath it to be champion on 31st December 2025.
I was gonna say, what the bootleg
Like, what
is
is June
happening over
30?
there
Yeah.
on your DraftKings app?
Maybe June 30th is just maybe that's when they posted these odds. I can definitely be wrong. But Tommy Aspinall at minus 130, the favorite as of now.
I would assume
Aspinall.
you have to make the bet and place it before June 30th. I'm sure they're going to close.
Oh, this year, or I guess
by
yeah,
the end of
'cause it's
H1.
2025. Yep, that makes sense. That does make
Maybe
sense.
that's what it is.
I think that does make sense. So we got 6 months, but we're getting it in early, y'all. These odds will definitely change. But for now, going into the year, Tommy Aspinall as the heavy favorite, minus 130. Right behind him, Tommy Aspinall. No. Let's go. The Aspinall era. Woo. That says a lot, man. That says a lot. And that can be, there's a couple ways that can happen, right? Just reading between the lines, December 31st, 25, Aspinall has to be champ. How is that going to happen? I mean, we can talk through it, but, and it might involve who's number 2 here in the odds, and that is John Jones, and at plus 110, the next favorite, and really the next substantial one. Number 3 kind of surprised me a little bit. I don't know if you have any thoughts on these first 2. That seems maybe status quo, or do you have any reactions to Tommy being the favorite and John Jones slightly behind him? There's underdog.
Well, I mean, the first 2 definitely make sense, right? I mean, if we're talking about heavyweight, like there's really no ifs, ands, or buts around it. John Jones should be up there as well as Tommy Aspinall. I'm curious to hear what the other names are on that list, but I mean, I'll tell you the favorite.
You want to make a
Tommy
guess?
Aspinall is smart.
There we go. Yeah.
Man. If I had to make a guess without looking, I would probably say Cyril Gana or Sergey Pavlovich has to be high on that list.
Cyril Gana is definitely up there. Cyril is number 4 at plus 500. Yep.
I mean, those are fair odds. Those are fair odds.
Solid. That's solid. Cyril looked good. It was certainly a razor thin win over an Alexander Volkov. I think Dana White may say otherwise. Volkov certainly feels another way also. But Cyril feels like the guy that's in that ballpark, right? He's on the short list. But there is someone else there at a plus 300. More likely than Cyril, but less likely than John Jones. It is not Sergey Pavlovich. I just mentioned Volkov. It's not Volkov. Is there anyone else that you could think of? I'll give you a quick second here. I don't want to leave everyone in suspense too long. But
maybe Jailton Almeida.
Oh, there it is.
I mean, that's my like dark horse of the division. That's the only guy I think that could give Tom trouble. If I'm being honest with you, I think those 2 match up very weirdly against one another.
That's right, and it's a maybe not so dark horse if DraftKings thinks Jailton is a plus 300 favorite potentially. So number 3, most likely.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
That's fun.
And shout out to the chat. Tico Tech said, end of year review on your predictions in December 2025 would be fun. Bookmark that. That is a fucking great idea. I love that. We'll run it back. We'll mark down all of our picks and then we'll run it back. So Leroy, big up lads. Big up to you, Leroy. I hope you're having the best fucking 2025 so far. And hope you had a happy new year and a happy holidays, my friend. And Lethal Sugar.
Big ups.
MMA withdrawals are in full effect. got any them MMA fights, man?
I need my fix.
I need it, man.
I need my fix.
Yeah, no, we definitely need that fix of MMA skilled violence. Yeah, man, I really like Jailton Almeida. I think the nod for plus 300 isn't bad. What were the odds on Tommy? I know he was a favorite.
Minus 130.
I'm going to take, I think, what's the plus odds on Jones?
Plus 110.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to give the unit amount, but I'm going to lock in that I'm going to be hedging that bet. That's my bet. I'm going to put Tom Aspinall for sure as my favorite. But part of me wants to hedge John Jones, not because I think he beats Tom, but because I think he fights Alex Pineda instead and just sits on the belt. I think he sits on the belt as long as he possibly can without fighting, and makes Tom wait. He's gonna Conor McGregor Tom Aspinall the way that Conor McGregor fucking Michael Chandler for 2.5 years. That's my prediction. What are you thinking for heavyweight, brother? Who's your hard-earned money and units on?
I love it, brother. I love it. And I won't leave the people waiting too long here. And it pains me to say, but I think there's a scenario, and I saw it here in the chat. I think Tommy Aspinall is probably where I'd put my money. I do like John Jones. However, I think two things can happen. I think, one, he just doesn't end up fighting Tom. And maybe he pivots a little bit and chases the Alex Bejeda legend fight. Or maybe he doesn't fight at all. John Jones is definitely an enigma, as Dana White said. When we get him, we appreciate him. But I don't know if that's where I want to put my hard-earned unis, right? I think safest bet is that Ben favorite. It's the guy who is the future of the heavyweight division, who is on a collision course with the John Jones. And I do think that's... I mean, I'm being hopeful here, but I believe that's inevitable, like Thanos. I do think Dana White, obviously, he's made it crystal clear. Tom has called for it repeatedly, which kind of made me and maybe the general public like Tommy Aspinall a little bit more, kind of got him in more of like day-to-day conversation. He's put himself out there. The Duck kind of, I don't even know, enigma or the Duck fanatic, the Duck meme, certainly caught some wind, got John Jones's attention. And John's mentioned it too, man. He wants to give the people what they want, and there was a roaring, I guess, appetite for that fight. So if you're John, I mean, how do you not do it?
Stomachs were growling.
Dude, that was, I mean, I think he was even shocked. I was shooketh a little bit. I didn't expect that. But maybe that's what we want to see. And yeah, I wouldn't argue with it. I'd love to see it. I guess thinking through that, I can maybe happen mid-year, right? Like maybe they both want to take a couple months off. Or maybe early spring. We can be hopeful, but they're going to want a full camp. And they still got to negotiate. All things have to align. But there is a scenario here, and why I still think John Jones, like I think he can still beat Tom. My bet is not to assume that Tom beats John. It's either maybe John just doesn't fight, or John wins, vacates it. And I think I've seen that here, Lethal Sugar. I mean, I like where your head's at, brother. Jones either vacates it, or he agrees with him. But what if John Jones beats him, vacates it? Then we're looking at an Aspinall and a Cyril Gahn, an Aspinall and a Jalton, end of the year. And then that's Tommy all day. And I think Tommy
all day in those. I mean, the only one that scares me even a little bit is that Jalton Almeida one, because Jalton has really good grappling. And I mean, let's face it, he is dangerous on the feet. Like, the guy has power and speed.
Yeah.
But it sounds like we're both in agreement here, right? Like, Tommy Aspinall all day. Give us the man, the myth, the legend, the John Jones Slayer. And with that being said, I say we move on into light heavyweight, folks. I'll take the lead on this one. So we got men's light heavyweight to be crowned or be champion by December 31st, 2025. So we're going to run through the top five here. We got Alex Pineda minus 120 for this one at the favorite. Sitting at number 2, we got Magomed Ankalaev plus 195. Sitting at number 3, odds getting real juicy, boys and girls. Jamal Hill plus 600. Moving into number 4 pole position, we got Carlos Blackjag Olberg plus 700. The juice might be worth the squeeze there, folks. And then last but certainly not least, I'm actually going to go to top 6 on this one. I know we said top 5 before we went live here, Nano, but fuck it. We got Yuri Prokaska at number 8. Or sorry, number 5 plus 800. Had a little dyslexic brain fart there. And then we got Dominic Reyes at number 6 plus 1,000. Holy smokes. Man. Look, dude. Obvious choice is going to be Alex Pineda. question is, does he stay at light heavyweight? And I mean, part of me wants to just take the juice sprinkle, right? A little bit of me, just a tiny bit of me, wants to sprinkle like a fifth or even a tenth of a unit on somebody like a Dominic Reyes plus 1,000, because we've seen him beat John Jones but not get the decision. And then Nano, I'm going to take it one further before I pass you the baton here to tell us your real thoughts. Khalil Roundtree Jr., the closest to really beating the fuck out of Alex Pereira. Like, they were going back and forth, hand for hand, foot for foot, knee for knee, tit for tat. And you can get that young man for plus 3,000. I think he beats 90% of that division. I think he cleans the clock of 90% of that division, not named Alex Pereira. So, again, I'm tempted to sprinkle on these dogs as I usually am. But in my heart of hearts, logically, I got to go Magomed Ankalaev, but realistically, it's never going to happen because Dana's just not going to give him his title shot. So with that being said, give me Alex Pereira. I feel like a fucking lame-o going on the two favorites right here. But if you pair them together, if you put Tommy Aspinall and Alex Pereira in a two-leg parlay for a futures parlay, you can get him at plus 224 odds. That's one unit to get you 3.24 back. I might have to do like a half unit on that one, Nano. What are you thinking on that? And shout out to the chat. Leroy, crossover. What's up, fellas? Get the likes up. Absolutely, brother. Get our likes up, and then make sure you go over to Crossover MMA's channel and get those likes up, too. We appreciate you guys.
That's right. Appreciate you all. Good to see you, Leroy. You know what, man? You're absolutely right. Just like the pay-per-view points and the viewers, and hopefully our subscribers, that hairline continues to rise, but we're going to keep it moving. And you might see a new athletic bald jive turkey at some point, bald eagle status. But until then, I got the little baby flow in the back. Appreciate you, boys. Great to have you, as always. What's up, Juice Man, as well here. Appreciate all the chat. Definitely makes this all worth the while. But yeah, man, I mean, hey, the light heavyweight division, I had one note in mind, and it was Chama, okay? But I do want to acknowledge your point. I think hedging for some of these future bets is definitely something you got to do. I mean, Tommy Aspinall definitely feels like a good, safe betting favorite, and he is. But I'm gonna sprinkle half a unity on my boy John Bones Jones as well. You got to. It's plus odds. That feels unheard of to get John Jones at plus odds in any capacity. So I'll take that. And same here. Let's. I'm in agreement. I hate being that guy. To your point, just going with the Ben favorite, but it's Alex Baez. It's his show. It's his era. And I do think, we may not get him much longer, another year, maybe two. And you may be sad to hear that, but hey, that means another 6 to 8 fights with this guy. So, still a lot of meat on the bones for Alex Pereira, but he's really done everything he needs to. Like, he's already solidified himself as an all-time legend, an absolute great, one of the best strikers, one of the most feared men to ever step in the octagon. I think that's just established. Like, this year in particular, 2024, was the year that Alex Pereira really solidified himself in that realm, that upper echelon. And so you mentioned a couple names, man. I mean, I do think Dominic Reyes is interesting at plus 1,000. I chuckle because I'm just right behind you at a plus 100 or plus 1,100 odds. A fighter that has had a bad run, but has shown flashes and has all the makings to be a champion. And I think styles make fights. So I think Alexander Rakic is my dark horse. I may sprinkle a quarter uni on our boy Alexander. The thought there is, like you said, maybe Alex retires by the end of the year. Maybe goes up and tries to do heavyweight. Do something great. You mentioned Magomed. He's number 2 plus 195. I just can't do it, Captain. I just can't do it. I don't know what it is about him. I mean, I do think he's going to get a shot against Alex, but I think he's going to lose. So that means he's not going to be champ this year. And then right off the rip, like John Mahal, I mean, I can't see it. Carlos Ulberg, that was another one that I do like. I actually had it in my notes here that Alexander and Carlos could be like a number 1 contender type fight. Go out there, give us a good pay-per-view or a good fight night.
I'm going to stop you there, man. I think that's the next fight for Alex Pereira. I think that's the fight that he announced in Australia.
Is Ulberg?
Yeah, I think he's going to fight Ulberg for the light heavyweight title in Australia. I think they're going to headline it.
There you go. That's fire. I love that. Breaking news to me.
Plus 700. I mean, it's tempting.
That's tempting, man. That's tempting. And that does open up a lot. I mean, again, Styles makes fights, and outside of the wrestling that Magomed definitely brings into the octagon, like, dude, Alexander on the feet is, I mean, with Khalil as well, but man, I mean, he is a tricky guy. He is so talented. He looks, again, has all the makings to be a champ. Think he might get a shot this year. That'd be my dark horse, but come on, it's Jama all the way. You know that, brother. You know better.
I think so. I mean, and look, we have Tico Tech spitting fire in the chat as always. He said Anthony Smith will be champ 2025. It's his year. He also said Ulberg is fighting Jan in March.
Jan. Okay.
So probably not is what he's saying. But as I said in the chat, I think they'll probably change that fight to make Ulberg versus Chama in Australia. I just think that fight makes a lot of sense, man. It's a fun fight. It's a good fight. man. And with that being said, I feel like part of me wants to sprinkle on Ulberg, but I'm going to stay away from it. I'm just going to keep with Tom Aspinall and Alex Pineda for now, and we will move into the middleweight division. Nano, take the lead on this one. I feel like we are going to disagree.
Well, I mean, we might, and maybe that's a good thing because that says a lot about the division itself. The middleweight division, in my opinion, is one of my favorites right now. It's absolutely stacked. It's a murderer's row. The guy we were just talking about there, Alex Bejeda, Juice Man, mentioning here, Chama left hook, the like button. Not a boy. I appreciate that. Hell yeah. Damn straight. Do it. Speaking of Chama, yeah, Alex Bejeda, like that left hook and doing it in the middleweight division. We got to see that last year. Him leaving definitely opened things up. The return of Izzy Adesanya and kind of partially the dethroning of Izzy Adesanya. Was tough for me as a fan. Yeah, you love him. I love him. I think he's just a solid fighter, a dude that I'm always rooting for. But unfortunately, I think his time has gone and passed. This sport goes quickly, and with that being said, all of a sudden, this middleweight division, we have a plethora of guys. The odds are very interesting as I'm looking at them right now because there's a couple guys I could say, but the guy that I do truly think is the werewolf. Oh, Khamzat Chimaev, baby. The Ben favorite again. Man, it is what it is. Oh, there it is. My guy. It's the Khamzat era, man. I do think he is on a collision course. Yeah, we're not sure what's next with DDP. Is he fighting Sean or not? But he'll beat Sean if he does. And then Khamzat's sitting there in the wing, man. And I just got to say, Khamzat at all, and DDP is going to get mauled. Yeah, crossover. You're absolutely right. I mean, the reality is what Khamzat did to Rob Whittaker was just biblical. Dude's next level, and I think a lot of what Khamzat's good at, Drickus does, but Khamzat does it a little better. And I'll leave it there. I'm not taking any dark horses in this division. I mean, I'm putting all my eggs in that Khamzat basket. What do you think, brother? Talk to me.
Look, man, this is going to be my first dog pick of the night because, I mean, look, you're giving me a champion at dog odds? Oh, by the way, not only is he a fucking dog in every sense of the matter, the way I would describe his fight style is big fucking puppy dog energy. Because this guy, he just bounces around like a frantic 300, 200-pound fucking puppy dog. Like, he doesn't know what he's going to do any more than you know what he's going to do. And that's terrifying because he's so big and strong and massive and just impending with his fucking pressure and weight. And look, man, I know crossover. I'll throw it up here again. He thinks Khamzat is going to maul DDP. But just like I bet him a shot yesterday on his show, I think it was a double shot that we bet. I'll bet you a double shot. So if DDP loses, I'm doing 4 back-to-back on the show that day. All right, brother? It's going to be a tough one. And, I mean, again, you're giving me DDP at dog odds? No, I might put 2 units on that. I mean, like, I'm telling you right now, bro, like everything else I'm putting like a fifth of a unit, an eighth of a unit, a tenth of a unit, but I'm doing a whole unit on this one, bro.
Oh boy.
There's part of me that wants to do 2 units on this.
I was gonna say, you said 2. You said 2.
Yeah, you know what? I'm locking it in. I'm doing 2 units on DDP.
Attaboy.
Yeah. 2 units, DDP. We're starting off 2 units in a deficit this year, guys. But it is what it is. It's worth it. We made it out net positive last year. We're going to start the slate clean as we do, and we'll do an even better job this year tracking it. We'll give you like finite numbers for this year. But with that being said, yeah, I'm locked in. Putting 2 units as of right now on DDP to be champion by the end of the year.
I love it. And I'm going Kamzat. At least a unit. Probably stick there because it's going to not be the best odds. Lethal Sugar poses a good question here in the chat as well. Same with, I think, Leroy in terms of, is he over the hill? Does he still have a lot to offer? And I do think he does. Like, I'm not, putting him out pasture just yet, but it's just, man, styles make fights, and he couldn't get through DDP. I mean, if they run it back, like, who's not to say DDP doesn't do that again? Because tit for tat, if this is a scoring match or a sparring match, like, Izzy will outpoint DDP all day, but it's a mixed martial arts fight, ladies and gentlemen. And we saw what happened once it got murky, once it went to deep waters. And once, Izzy made a mistake. So, I mean, unless he's perfect for another 25 minutes against a DDP and against a Kamzat, who I don't even want to get started with that. I think we know how that goes. Man, yeah, I don't see a path for him anymore. But all-time great. You make great fights. And that's what you do. You collect a couple more checks, and then you ride off into the sunset. But like Lethal Sugar said, too, makes us grateful for the time we got for him. And if you got to see him before the UFC, then, yeah, you're definitely fortunate. And then, hey, Drewski, it's Friday. It's Friday then. It's Saturday, Sunday. What? Love it, brother. Way to bring the vibes. Yeah, man. I like your heads up, though, brother. We'll have to agree to disagree, but I like it, man.
Look, I am saying it with my chest. And crossover, this guy. Fucking say it with your chest, Olin. Bro, spell my name right. Brother, there ain't no I in me, but there's an I in my name, my friend.
Now, why would he do that?
Why would he do that? What a fucking guy. This fucking guy. Oh, my God. Can I just tell you, folks, how happy I am that the boys are back in town? Speaking of the boys being back in town, it is Friday, Drew. Welcome to the fucking chat, my friend. Drew is one of the all-time homies. He's been to both of the International Fight Weeks that I've been to, and I've probably watched more fight cards with that young man than I've watched with any other person in the world. And because this is the one that I feel the most strongly about, this DDP one, I know it's early in the day, but we're doing it anyways. I am pouring one out. I am pouring one up. We are going to do one for the show, folks. So, as Nano does the same, if you're watching, and there are a handful of you doing it, and we appreciate each and every one of you. You got 14 of you right now in the live stream. If you drink, raise one up with us in a little toast to 2025 and all the amazing MMA memories that we are going to make. The memories, if you will. And if you don't drink, then raise up a glass of water and toast with us as well. Because either way, we appreciate each and every one of you for being here. We hope that 2025, all 3 days of it, or 2.5 days of it so far, have been absolutely incredible to you. And we hope that the other 362 of them are even better than the last 3. Cheers to you, cheers to us, and cheers to everything we plan to accomplish this year, folks.
Salud.
Forward to you guys all being here.
Let's go. Keep going, keep growing, like we like to say.
Keep on going and keep on growing. And shout out Miss Mary616 in the chat. Let's go. Gotta hit the air horns. So Tico Tech says, Kamzat will do his thing, even though Dreek the Freak. Dreek the Freak has got to be one of the best nicknames. Has plot armor. A little bit, man. He does have a little bit of plot armor, right?
I mean, dude, we got to acknowledge DDP.
I just think he's too strong. He's too strong.
I mean, and a hell of a run he's been on. I mean, to beat 3 previous champions in a row, 2 in 2024, like on the short list of candidates for Fighter of the Year or breakout, however you want to put it. Dude's a stud. Dude's a stud. But again, I'm going to have to say it. Khamzat, only 30 years old, in his prime, baby.
Well, we got a hell of a bet going, man. We'll probably throw some money on top of that bet as well. You already know. And with that being said, my friend, look, I'm just going to repeat what Drickus already said, and somebody can clip this so that way you can make me look like an ass at the end of the year if I'm wrong, or you can clip it and then you can feel like an ass whenever this comes to fruition. But either way, I'm going to quote Dreek the Freak, as the chat said, a.k.a. Drickus Duplessis, a.k.a. DDP, for those WWE fans. When asked about the power that Khamzat Chimaev brings to the table, Drickus Duplessis says that if he has a gun, I have a tank. And I agree with it, man. I fucking agree with it. Juiceman562 said, tacos while tuning into the show. Gotta love it. Dude, I fucking love that. I love that you're having tacos. I hope that they are the best tacos you've ever had. And have one for us, my friend.
That's right. I had tacos earlier, so I'm on board with that.
I had tacos last night. So I'm not mad at tacos ever.
It's always taco time.
Any time of the days. So not I say. So with that being said, we move into the next division, which is another banger of a division. That's right, folks. We are going to talk about the men's UFC welterweight division. Don't welterweight for this one. You want to get here right fucking now, folks. We are talking about the number one person, Shavkat Rakhmonov, minus 150. He is not even the champion currently. And that's why, Nano, I'm not even going to read the rest of the options. I'm just going to go to the second one because that's my pick, right? I'm actually going to make two picks in this one. I'm going to do two bets. I'm not going to hedge them so that it's an even pick. I'm just going to flat out put, what do I want to do here? I'm going to figure out how much I want to put on these as you give your breakdown, but I'll tell you the two names that are on the tip of this tongue. They are Bilal, remember the name, Muhammad. I think he retains, with all due respect. He's a really, really strong champion. But I only think he retains if a young man outside of his weight class decides to stay in his lane, so to speak. Because if Islam Makhachev decides to go up in weight class, he's going to take Bilal Muhammad's lunch money or Shavkat Rakhmonov's lunch money or anybody else's lunch money. God forbid it's Ian Machado Gary on that first title defense, like I said on the show yesterday, folks. It's going to be nice. So plus 500 Islam Makhachev, knowing he wants to go up. Plus 200 Bilal Muhammad, knowing he's the man in place. I like those odds a lot. I'm happy to probably put at least a unit on one of these two men and a half unit on the other. We'll decide which is which. Nano, who you got? Tell us why.
I like it, brother. I like the breakdown there. My short answer to this is Shavkat. I mean, I hate taking so many of the favorites. I am going to hedge this, but before I do that, listen, man, this guy's a beast. I mean, and it pains me to say it because, you know, Bilal, at 36 years old, we finally get to remember the name, but I don't know how long that memory will serve if, you know, it is a short-lived reign that he had. But he should be proud of the fact that he accomplished the goal of being champion. We'll always remember that. But again, man, there's a Shavkat Rakhmonov here peeking behind his shoulder there, tapping him, ready for that belt. And they're on a collision course. He's the betting favorite at minus 150. It's hard to make a case against it. What I'll probably end up doing is maybe parlaying a few of these together to make it a little juicier. Obviously, take them straight up also. But yeah, man, that's somebody that I do feel pretty gosh darn good about. Now, there's two names that I do honestly we need to discuss, man. Leon Edwards, I mean, we can't completely forget about this guy. Like, he had a razor-thin, close loss to a Bilal, and some may argue that, you know, that wasn't the best version of Leon that we saw. And I do think Leon poses a lot of threats for all these guys. Most specifically, I mean, the thing with Bilal, his wrestling game, certainly the neutralizer, but yeah, Leon's got it all as well, man. He's still only 33 years old. I like that at plus 350. If he gets a shot at it, I do think he can win. And then it would just be kind of interesting to see how they match up after that, right? Like if a Shavkat and Bilal happen, which I think that's happening soon.
I don't want to be the guy that shits on that idea, but I do want to be the guy that points some things out.
Talk to me.
There's a car alarm going off.
I do hear that.
Window, so I apologize if you can hear that. It just stopped. So I heard that, which I didn't hear that, but I just heard that.
Well said. Well said.
So look, if Leon Edwards, by the grace of God, somehow beats Bilal Muhammad, Islam's still planning on going up. And a little fun fact that might not be known to a lot of folks is when Leon Edwards came over to train at AKA briefly, the first person that he sparred with, or not even the first person he sparred with, the first person that Islam sparred with when he came to AKA and started training was Leon Edwards. He beat him up in the cage at AKA. So, I mean, look, if Leon does get the belt, I like my plus 500 pick.
I do like that. And I'm getting roasted for this as well. Dick's Insider thinks the only threat Leon poses is putting viewers to sleep. That's very funny, very harsh, but I do appreciate it. Tico Tech, we could definitely forget about Leon Edwards. Okay, well, that's contrary to what I said, but okay. Oof. I see you. No, and that's fair. All is fair. Because there's someone else at plus 400 that maybe I could sell you on, okay? If you didn't like the Chrysler, maybe I got something else for you here. And it's an Ian Machado Gary, okay? Another razor-thin loss, close to Shavkat Rakhmonov. Almost had him in a choke. He's another guy that by the end of the year, he's one win away, man. He's one win away. You already said Bilal. You already said Bilal.
I couldn't resist.
No, that's fair. We did acknowledge. You already said Bilal. I was trying to make a case for these other guys.
I just think, again, I said this yesterday, so if you tuned into yesterday, so sorry for the deja vu here. I think in my heart of hearts, Islam goes up. So I think Bilal beats Shavkat. Islam goes up. Islam beats Bilal. And then because of the Conor McGregor versus Khabib narrative, they give Ian Gary the rub, and they let him be his first title defense. And Islam dog walks Ian. I'm sorry. I truly think Islam does bad things to Ian Gary. And there was something in the chat earlier. Let's see. I think it was Leroy that said it, which was shocking. Let's see. I need to find it. Bilal stays champ. They'd never fight, but he'd beat Islam, though. I disagree. I disagree firmly with that.
So yeah, I think I'm more of that belief in the sense that, like, Islam in this division, it's when he's plus 500, right? He's even behind, Machado, Joaquin Buckley at plus 350. Like, we got to see it. I got to see it first. If they straight give him a title shot against, well, dude, I think Shavkat and Bilal both post threats, but he said he won't fight Bilal, right? That was the whole thing and why he won't go up. And he said with his interview with DC, he walks around at 180? He just wants to cut, a few pounds, and that to me is an issue when you're looking at these guys in this division. These are some big boys. Ian Gary's like 6'4". Leon's
but he only has a 4-inch reach advantage on Islam.
True.
Like, he has a 6-inch height advantage, sure, or 8 inches actually. But he only has 4 inches in reach. Like, Islam has a decent ape index. He has a 70-inch reach, which isn't crazy. It's not like, fucking John Jones-esque, but he also, it serves him to have a shorter sense of gravity or lower sense of gravity because he's a grappler. I don't know, man. I think I like Islam in a lot of options in this one. But even though I played the cricket soundbite, I was just being a dick. I was being a little bit facetious back then. You remember way back then when I was being a dick? That was I was just fucking with you, bro.
I didn't mean that.
I didn't mean
You're
that.
not.
I didn't mean that. We're not. I love that you knew where I got that reference from.
Tropic Thunder.
Fucking Tropic Thunder, bro. I love you, dude.
Jack Black, bro. It's famous. The best. I might need to watch that this weekend. Let's go.
A little bit sensual for you guys. Yeah, man. Definitely glad to have you back, my friend. And look, it's okay. It's okay that we disagree. So you're liking Leon Edwards at plus 350 and Ian Machado Gary, or are you thinking about sprinkling a little bit on that, or what are you thinking? If you're sprinkling on one as a betting man, where are you at? You're a Shavkat?
Shavkat's my unit, right, where my betting favorite is. But if I'm sprinkling anywhere, and you already said Bilal, which I think that's That's at plus 200. Actually, that's pretty solid. I would sprinkle a little bit there, but you got that covered. The dark horse, dude, Machado Gary. I'm telling you, that's my dark horse. We can put Leon, we can put him away. We can stop playing with that toy. But Ian Machado Gary is a new fancy turbo man that I want to play with. So sign me up. Half a unit, quarter unit tops.
Love that. Fucking love that. Just absolutely love it.
That's right.
And I have decided that I am going to do a full unit on Bilal Muhammad and a half unit on Islam Makhachev to be champion in men's welterweight by the end of the year, folks. I think in my heart of hearts that's the play to make. And again, like, you can disagree with me. Please let me know in the chat how dumb I am. And then this time next year, we'll see. But either way, those are the ones I'm going with. And we keep on going. We keep on growing. And we grow on into the lightweight division, a.k.a. my favorite division in all of the UFC. Man. This one's going to be a boring answer, so I'm just going to give it to you first. Because, let's see where your head's at, Nano.
I appreciate that. I mean, yeah, short and sweet. Islam Makhachev at minus 135. That's where my money's at. And I know we just talked about the potential scenarios of him going up a weight class. I'm not of the belief that's going to happen. I think in terms of even just how often Islam fights, I mean, we shouldn't expect more than 1 or 2 fights this year. 3 would surprise me. So that in mind, he's fighting Armand soon. He's going to want to take some time off after that. And I think he's going to want to wait and see how things shake out. He's talked about fighting Charles again, so it's like that can potentially be something we see. But the dark horse for me, and where I'm going to be of the belief that there may be some shuffling, but Ilia Topuria at plus 800, even a Max Holloway potentially. Like, there's some other guys in this division that is and has been one of the best, most stacked, funnest. It has our favorite fighters. I mean, a Dustin Poirier, obviously, Connor, the legend he is or was, Max Holloway, Justin Gaethje, like Dan Hooker broke out again, Renato Moicano. I mean, Charles Dubronx. The list goes on, and these are all Hall of Famers, legends that are all still at the top of their game. I love everything about this division, but I do still think it's Islam that's going to be champion. Come on, brother. There's only one champion. You know this, brother. It's Islam.
Brother, you know this, brother.
You know this, brother. Come on.
We got to check their black belts, brother. We got to take their black belts, brother. You know this.
Who gave this?
Inshallah.
Who give? I'm excited, but yeah, no, it's Islam all the way. The dark horse again, where I would just love to put money on, and I would just do it because I'm a fan, and it'd be Ilya moving up. And to your point, hey, maybe Islam does vacate it. He just completely leaves the division.
No.
Who's the number one contender?
That's not my point. I don't want you to misconstrue my words.
Okay.
No. Islam will not vacate. He will defend both. He's not Connor.
Ooh. Okay. Because that does open it up a lot more. I was going to say, if he's like, hey.
If he leaves the division, it's open for the taking for Ilya. If Ilya comes up and has to fight Islam, it's bad for him. I actually would love nothing more than for Islam to vacate to go up, and then it to be Ilya versus Dustin Poirier in a vacant belt fight.
So sick.
Am I the only one erect right now? Like, seriously, all jokes aside. I know Dixon Sider definitely is. And with that being said, we got to go to the chat because this shit is hilarious. Dixon Sider just spitting fire right now. Ian Machado Gary is like a used Lexus you got from an auction because it was flooded. You think it's a great buy, but not really when you dig deeper. And then Drew, being the rare optimist, but it's still a Lexus, LMAO. Fair. Touche. Dixon Sider said there's a better chance we see Islam on Dancing with the Stars over vacating his belt. Well, I'll tell you what, bud. Might get me some flack in the comment section below, but I love me some Dancing with the Stars. You can ask Nano. We switch our Tuesday runtime, or our Tuesday runtime to Monday during Dancing with the Stars season. So
it is in our schedule. Yes, that is correct.
It is baked into the schedule.
It is built in. Yes. Well said.
It's baked in there like Monday Night Football and Thursday Night Football. You know.
There we go. Yeah, man.
We have our other vices, folks.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, couldn't agree more. And yeah, I guess I don't see that either, but is that up to him, right? Dana White may force his hand. Like, you never know. But certainly open-minded. I'm excited about this division. I mean, like I mentioned, a Dan Hooker up there, Max Holloway entering it again. Here comes, Max Holloway, the Bless Express entering the chat. It's exciting as all be all, man. So let's go. Let's run it. And the ups and downs with Conor, like seeing him then not, obviously 2024, that would have been even another ripple in that division, but obviously didn't happen, won't happen. So no need to talk about him anymore. But I'm excited, brother.
Because I want to make this a more fun episode, right? And I love me some fucking dogs. Are there any like real slept on dark horses that you could see just pulling out like literally out of nowhere to take some of these belts? Like a Hinato Money Moicano at plus 2,000 odds.
I mean, this division's tough. Anything can happen. I mean, all these guys can beat anyone, right? I mean, we were talking about Dustin.
Stylistically, he's a fun matchup for most of these guys.
Yeah, Dustin at plus 16. Max in there at plus 1,000.
If Dustin didn't say he only has one left, I would bet probably a half unit or a unit on Dustin at plus 16.
Yeah, I do like that. I mean, out of all the divisions, this one, I would say you can hedge most likely, or hit a nickel and you could find a good prospect to put some money on. But in the other divisions, I'd be harder pressed to find one over 1,000. Like, I mean, one guy we didn't talk about in that last division for welterweights, like a Carlos Prates or Caio.
Oh.
I mean, well, Carlos is 5,000, but
I was thinking middleweight.
Same thing though. I mean, all those fighting
middleweight.
nerds,
I was thinking
right?
Caio.
Like,
He's plus 1,000. Yeah.
Same camp. I mean, it's just there are some guys.
I might just for good measure put a fifth of a unit on every fighting nerd.
That's a good plan.
It's not a terrible idea.
It's a good approach. At least one of them will probably hit. But yeah, man, this division is stacked. It's all matchups, man. It's all matchups. Like anyone out of the top freaking 6 to 8 can emerge as a number one contender. Who's healthy? Who gets matched up with who? And what does Islam decide to do? I think is the big thing. That'll be the deciding factor here.
I love that Islam has the options. It's like whatever Islam decides to do is really going to dictate, at least 2 weight classes because he's the king.
That's what he does.
He is Khabib 2.0. It's a
number
fact.
one pound for pound. That's what he does.
I think Crossover said this yesterday on the show. Like it or not, Islam's about 2 fights away from being in the GOAT conversation. At least the GOAT of lightweight conversation. And you can argue till you're fucking blue in the face, but look what he's done. And look who he's done it to.
Yeah, it's all Hall of Famers. I mean,
he's beat 2 GOATs of the sport since being champ. Like, he beat one of them twice. Come on.
Yeah.
There's something to that. And Dixon Sider spitting fire again. I'm going to say that all over and over again because it rhymes and it's just fun. It rolls off the tongue. Fun fact. Moicano hasn't attempted a submission in a UFC fight since 2022. Don't bet his sub prop. It's always TKO or decision. Well, Dixon, I got news for you. He trained with Dustin Poirier on the first day of the year. So I think you should probably bet him not only by submission, but by Gilly. He's probably looking pretty sharp now. Jokes aside. Tico Tech said BJ Penn just fell to his knees in a dive bar after hearing that. Oh, this man. This guy. This fucking guy. I love it. All right, we got to move on. We got to move on to the next division here, folks. That's right. Featherweight. I'm going to be probably just taking a favorite here. I'll keep it pretty short. We'll go to the top 5. Featherweight division, men's future champion for the end of 2025. We got Ilia Topuria minus 175. Feels like the simple bet. Feels like the smart bet. Movsar Evloev at plus 200. I just don't think he's got a whole lot for him, folks. And Diego freaking where are you? Lopez coming in here at plus 400, folks. I gotta think if I were to bet on a dog, and I know by betting on this dog, likely by the end of 2025, I'll be looking for the 1 to 2 units I place on him. Like, where are you? But I'm so sorry. I'm gonna bet Diego Lopez tonight. I'll probably lose my money, but it's okay. That's fine. I bet with money I can afford to lose.
Not a boy.
Look, folks, I got to bet on a dog here. Minus 175. Again, you put 1 unit on that, you're getting 1.57 back, so you're making less than a unit in profit back. You're making a little over half unit back. I'd rather lose money than take safe odds like that. The highest I've bet as far as favorites tonight is minus 130, and I'd like to keep it that way if at all possible. So call me crazy here. Give me that plus 400 in Diego freaking Lopez. And even at the risk of saying, where are you to my money by the end of the night, I think I'm going to go ahead and do a half unit on that one against my better judgment.
I love it, brother. I love it. Well, I mean, we're for the most part on the same page. I think for me, it's obvious who is the guy in this division right now. He dethroned the 2 GOATs of the division, like we were just talking about. It's the Ilya show. It's the Ilya Topuria era. He's going to continue to dominate, do what he does. I know he's talked about trying to go up and chase Islam or do double champ status. He's talked about also not vacating the belt as well. So I think what's next for him, potentially a rematch with Volk, would just further solidify him as the guy, because I think he beats Volk again. But for 2025, again, and this is where I think it gets a little tricky, because if that happens, then what do you do with Movsar Evloev, who just came off a win over Aljamain Sterling? Just went out there, out-grappled him, out-wrestled him, showed that he's a masterclass, and that's what he does. But we got our boy, Blink-182, Diego Lopez, our boy, our man. And that's the guy that I'm honestly going to agree with you on and say I'm putting at least half a unit, maybe a unit on Diego, assuming Ilya does go up. But because I think he's going to stay put, you got to stay with Ilya and put the unit on him. Diego's my dark horse, though. I think if Diego gets the matchup with Volk, I think he beats Volk. Maybe that's a wild take, but I think Diego's that good. And then if he gets a full camp against Movsar Evloev, I think there's a chance he could rock him, submit him before Movsar uses either the full 15 or if it's 25, which I think actually favors Diego. I think Diego could edge it out, but obviously Movsar would probably be the Ben favorite there. He showed, obviously beat him previously, but that wrestling game, man, I mean, it's hard to have a true answer for that, right? It's hard to have a chess move. It's hard to have a counter to someone that's just so gosh darn dominant in the wrestling game. Man, Mozart is honestly a safe bet. I can't tell you not to sprinkle or hedge on a Movsar Evloev. He certainly has shown he has all the makings. But God, I hate picking all these damn wrestlers to be champions. So give me the striker. Give me the guy who's gone out there, has always answered the bell, and has just been an absolute fan favorite and just proves that he's continuing to get better, and he's gritty, man. Like, he can take the punches. He can be in there with the who's who. Give me Diego as a dark horse. But Ilya. Where are you? But it's the Ilya show. Come on. Don't be crazy.
Love it. Crossover saying El Matador. I mean, yeah, dude, that's the easy bet. Obviously, I mean, that's where my brain is. But you know me. Just like the logo over my chest, man. I'm going with my heart. And look, Drew pointed out nobody beat Ilya at featherweight. A lot of strikers in that division, but his elite boxing knocks anyone out. Worst thing about that, Drew, is the fact that he entered the UFC as a grappler. He was not a striker. He was known as a black belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu artist. If Lopez stands in front of Ilya and trades, he will get slumped. Well, here's the thing, Drew. He's not going to stand in front of him. He's going to move forward. Constant pressure, moving forward. And, you know, I don't care how strong of a rock you are. Strongest rock in the world will be broken down by an unlimited flow of water. Simply a fact. I think that flow of water, that constant pressure can break down the rock that is Ilya the Matador Topuria. But, I mean, here we go. Here we go. Slumped, Drew said. Well, we will see. Yet another fight I will put a shot on, my friend, and I hope you're in town for that one. Because win, lose, or draw, we'll Both probably need some adult Pedialyte the next day. Moving into the next fight. And again, I am putting a half unit on Diego Lopez here, folks. Got to do it. Just got to do it to him. Let's see here. We move into, what is it, Bantamweight now? Jeez Louise, we're just moving right on down. You know what? We're going to mix it up a little bit. We're going to go ladies first here. Now that we're moving into a lady-worthy division. Women's Bantamweight. Okay, folks, who is going to be the women's Bantamweight champion by this time? December 31st, 2025. Man, this is a tough one to bet anybody but Kayla Harrison, so it's going to be a very, very short conversation. I'm going Kayla Harrison on this one. I'm sure Nano is too.
Yep.
What are you thinking? Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll keep it short and sweet. Didn't mean to step on your toes there, but
we'll keep it short and sweet. We're not even going to bet on this one, or at least I'm not. Minus 300, I can't take those odds in good faith. I'd rather take Misha Tate at plus 12,000, knowing it's not going to come true, than bet on someone at minus 300.
Yeah, it's tough. But she obviously earned that number. I mean, she looked absolutely dominant, just derailed Holly Holmes, dismantled her, as if you will. And I just don't see anybody else that really poses a lot of threats. I mean, Juliana Pena at plus 300, obviously she has to be Kayla, but I don't think she has the game. Frankly, I just don't think she's athletic enough. I don't think she's durable enough. I think Kayla's just freakish. She's next level. Yeah, Amanda Nunes at plus 500. She doesn't fight anymore, so it's few and far between. I think there's quite a gap when it comes to the elites of the elites in this bantamweight division. So it's Kayla Harrison show, and much deserved. I hope she gets the notoriety. Are they scheduled to fight yet? Do we know? I don't know if anything's scheduled. Hopefully,
I don't think they're scheduled.
Happens sooner than later. I guess that can be the one deterrence, is if they just don't fight, which would be crazy. But
I think it's going to be her and Amanda Nunes for sure. I think Amanda Nunes is going to come out of retirement and fight. Oh, that's what I think.
Shit!
I think after she gets that win over the obvious next choice, but that's neither here nor there because it's just not scheduled yet, right?
Facts.
But once it does get scheduled, let's fucking go.
Oh, baby, that'll be a big one.
That will be a big one. Anomaly likes Diego Lopez because he had the same haircut in middle school Diego has now. Do you still shop at Hot Topic in the mall? No, I've actually switched over to Spencer's Gifts. I'm kidding. Nice. I definitely still shop at Hot Topic. Where do you think I get most of my shirts?
There you go.
No, and I didn't actually have that haircut in middle school. I had a mohawk. It was like this tall. Send you a picture sometime. And before that, it was a mullet. You would have actually really liked it, Dixon Cider, judging by your display picture, my friend. I feel like we're cut from the same cloth, my friend. So with that being said, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and move on into the men's bantamweight division, because you can't pick wrong in this one, Nano. Every single person in the fucking division is plus odds. Drew saying, whoa, Pena was at least a champ. Little respect. Look, man, I save my respect for the Brazilians. I'm not going to give Juliana Pena respect, because if I do, I might have to hear her speak more, and I don't want to do that. God bless you, my co-host with the most. Over there just turkeying it up. But now looks like we're feeling better. Oh, man.
So we're back.
Men's bantamweight, we are back. Every single thing is plus odds on this one. We got Umar Nurmagomedov at plus 110. I'll let Joe say it better than I ever could. That's right. That's right.
Oh, boy.
A little louder for those in the back. You can get that man plus 110. You can get the current champ at plus 130. Murad Davalishvili. You can get Sean O'Malley. Sugar, where you at in the chat, Sugar? I know this is your guy. Plus 600. Sugar Sean O'Malley. And you can get Davison Figueiredo at plus 1,500. Corey Sandhagen at plus 700. And Piotr Young at plus 650. Look, Joe said it better than I could, so I'll let him give you my pick. Is the one, folks. I'm putting a unit on that. I think that's money in the bank. And I'll pour a shot to that one. Fuck it. Let's go. No.
Not a boy.
Who do you have in the men's bantamweight division? and tell us why it is probably.
It's for a lot of reasons. As much as I do like Merab Dvalishvili, and I do appreciate the style, I mean, his motor is next level. I just think he's a little too old at this point, man. You know, you got a Umar Nurmagomedov who's 29, just getting into his prime. You got Merab. I guess he's only 33. I say that. Maybe I should take that back. He looks much older. And it's such a close split between the two, but I'm just going with the younger. Obviously, the name, the pedigree, but even just the striking that Umar Nurmagomedov has displayed throughout his career, it complements everything so well. You know, and I think that's where Merab has been able to find success against fighters who really aren't able to compete with him from a wrestling perspective. But then you look at the striking, like someone that has superior striking than him, but can actually stuff his takedown attempts, but then also come up with his own, you know, slick attempts, the single legs, the clinches, like getting him up against the fence, using that striking. And honestly, I mean, he could hurt him. Like Umar can potentially even knock out him with Rob Dvalishvili. We've seen that happen before. Leroy, you know, I know we might be on two ends of the spectrum here, but I'll tell you what, man, love me some Rob Dvalishvili. I mean, what he's done and what he continues to do is it's something we've never seen. I can't bet against Umar. For me, he's freaking good. And I mean, the way he just went out and dismantled Corey Sandhagen as well earned my respect. I think, again, outside of Merab, and it's obvious why these guys are both +1 something, because next after that is Sean O'Malley, or as Juice Man coined here in the chat, Sean O'Sally or O'Sadly, not champ anymore. Which I would love for the Sugar Show to come back. That was fun in 2024. Quick shout out. That's my boy. I'm living here in AZ, and you know, follow him. Maybe we'll buy some merch at some point. But nah, man. All to say, Umar's a guy. Merab, can't go wrong with him. Hey, I've been wrong before, so don't take my word as Bible. But I just think Umar, and we're gonna find out soon. So the good thing with this is we don't have to wait too long. But I certainly think Umar's going to find a way to get it done. He's just younger, hungrier, has more tools in the toolbox. Do we agree? I think it sounds like we're both on the Umar train here, but would you hedge with the Merab? Do you think he can find a way to get it done?
No, I'm not going to hedge that one. I'm going to stick to my guns on this. I'm going to stick to my gut, and I'm going to go with Umar on this one. I think he gets it done. I think he's simply the more efficient wrestler, no matter how good you are, as far as like weaponizing cardio and having a machine-like situation when it comes to the engine, the gas tank. And Merab is that guy. He's a fucking beast. Like what Leroy is saying. He said, Nano hurting my feelings, Merab, and it's not even close. And then he said, Umar is great, but I think Merab is a better wrestler and bigger gas tank. Umar's only way to victory is catching Merab, which is doable. So I actually think the opposite, Leroy. I think as far as offensive wrestling goes, Merab is better. He has slightly better offensive wrestling. Total wrestling, though, I disagree with you firmly. I think his defensive wrestling, not that fucking good. Not that good. And also, just like Tico Tech, I was waiting for someone in the chat to put it up. Aldo stuffed all of Merab's takedowns. And there were like 40 of them in that fight. So, yeah, I think if Aldo's able to stuff those takedowns, Merab's not going to be able to get a takedown on Umar. And Umar's the better striker, and he will put him on his back at some point. The question is, what happens when Merab is on his back? I don't think he gets back up. I think he gets dominated. All that energy starts to really deplete, and it's much different working from your back, panicking to get back to your feet, than it is being in top position and shooting takedowns over and over. Crossover said, Leroy, Umar is the best overall grapplers. He's a submission threat, unlike Merab. 100 fucking %. I'm not done yet, guys. You can probably just like come back in 5 minutes. No, that's a fact though. That's like the comment of the show here. Leroy said crossover MMA. That's valid. I just don't see Umar going forward or getting a forward step. Merab is 110 from the get-go. I agree, but the reason Merab is 110 from the get-go is because he's constantly trying to disrupt the motion and stop someone from having their ability to get going, right? Umar never has trouble getting going. Unlike a Sean O'Malley or someone who like is able to get stuff like from the start, you really stop them from being able to find their distance and their kind of momentum, their range. You can cut them off and shut them down from the very start of the fight. So Umar is going to win this fight. Dixon Sider said, okay, guys, I'm going to leak the script for Merab Umar fight. It ends in a split decision for Umar. Lock. That went to the bank, folks. You heard it here first. I just don't know, man. I just don't know. I'm kidding. I do know it's going to be Umar Nurmagomedov. Give me that man and give me a whole freaking unit on him. We got to move into the next one, but I think we poured one up, right? I thought we did.
I started to, but now
I do declare. Do you like pool parties, Bill? All right, we ready now. Cheers, folks, to you, to us, and to all of us making a fuss in 2025. Let's go.
Cheers.
Turns out Dixon Sider is Dana White's nephew. Love that. Sounds like someone who's getting some major Dana White privilege. Cheers to you, Leroy's. I'm sure you are having a, what is it, Corona you drink? Either way, I hope it's the best tasting one you've ever had, my friend. And I hope you're happy to have your lady back. So we move into the women's flyweight division. The only thing I'm not happy about when it comes to this division is that I don't see odds for Dakota Dacheva. Yeah, I don't see odds for her, but that's okay. This is one where I will be making not one but two bets. Now, I think Valentina Shevchenko is a dominant champ. I think she's a fair champ. I think she's a valid champ. I love her. She's living her truth. I just don't think she remains champ in 2025. I think Manon Fior is going to be the one to take it from her. You know what? Fuck that. I'm doing 3 bets on women's flyweight. I'm going to do 3 small ones here. This is going to be my smaller bets of the play here. I've done 2 units. I've done 1 unit. I've done half units so far. So for this one, I'm going to do a 1/5 of a unit on Manon Fior, and I'm going to do a 1/5 of a unit on Natalia Silva. Now, Manon Fior is plus 200 here. Valentina Shevchenko, you can get it minus 125, which isn't terrible odds for a current champ. But I digress, folks. Plus 600 on Natalia Silva feels like a cheat code. If you were to put a whole unit on her, you get 7 units back. Solid turnaround. I don't need to tell you why. I think this is probably the way to go. Fior, dominant on the feet, good enough grappling to get by. She's an absolute standout with the Muay Thai prowess. When it comes to Natalia Silva, Taekwondo background, faster speed than I've ever seen in the division. What is it that Mike Goldberg said that was funny as fuck about Anderson Silva? Gosh. She has some of the most accuracy you'll ever see. Does Natalia Silva, Joe. I love watching this woman fight. She's fan-freaking-tastic. And I know, folks, you're wondering, who's the third name on the list? Well, I'll tell you.
It's actually Yesidava.
And why wouldn't it be? She's plus 30,000. Okay. And I honestly think that even though I'm a major Jasmine fanboy, I just think she has every path to victory here. She went on a 3-4 fight win streak in 2024. If she does the same thing in 2025, I don't see any reason why she is not slated for a fucking set of 5 championship rounds in the end of the year against whoever is holding that strap so she can take it from them firmly. And if you put 1 whole unit on her, you would get 301 units back. Which is why I'm going to go ahead and put a 1/5 of a unit on her, just so that way I don't feel as bad losing it. I mean, Leroy, come on, brother. Like, plus 30K odds? Put some money on that. You know what? You just convinced me. I'm doing it. Fuck it. No, I'm changing it. I'm putting a unit on Jasmine because
Já se dáváte.
is the fucking shit. And that would just be a really fun payday. Honestly, if I'm being honest, that would pay for International Fight Week for the next like probably 2 years for both of us. So we're doing it.
Let's go.
We're doing
I like it. But no, I agree with you, brother. I think, Valentina is the Ben favorite, and I think that is for a reason. I do feel that Valentina still has a lot of gas in the tank. She showed a lot that last fight against Alexa Grasso, dethroned, the one kind of blemish in her career thus far, obviously outside of Amanda Nunes. But Manon Fior as well is certainly the one out of anybody else in this division that I do feel has the skill set, has the power, has just that it factor to potentially be champion as well. And a lot of exciting people in this division. I think even crossover mentioning Weili trying to become a potential double champ. She's sitting here at 1,000 for flyweight. You never know, but this is a 2-horse race for Valentina and then potentially Manon Fior. Absolute stud. That'll be a fun striking match. I'm just curious to see what Manon's answer is for Valentina's wrestling and grappling game. She's obviously going to deploy a lot of that against a Manon Fior. It's obvious. So we'll see. Sign me up, though. Love to see it.
Hell the fuck yes, man. And yeah, look, I'm locked in. Putting a unit on Jess. And we're putting a fifth of a unit on Manon, a fifth of a unit on Natalia. And you know what? Actually, nope. There we go. That's money. That's better. All right, that's the perfect way to hedge. We're gonna do a half unit on Manon, a fifth of a unit on Natalia, and a unit on Jasmine. Worst case scenario, as long as Manon wins, we cover our bets across the board. And I mean, if our girl Jasmine gets it done, then we'll be having a nice little MMAnomaly Show no filter trip, funded by the fucking betting. Y'all out on Kong Wong? Brother, I'm never out on Wong Kong, bro. AKA the Joker. Let me hit him with the Joker laugh. Look, I love me some Wong Kong. I love me some Kong Wong. I thought she was winning that fight up until she lost it. Man, was it getting put to sleep as a minus 1,000 favorite? I will have you know, I did bet on her by finish. I was actually in Vegas. I walked up to the sports betting bookies and did it. And sad. That was a bit sad. That was a bad loss. But she was winning the fight up until she lost it, right? So it is what it is, folks. It is what it is. And with that being said, now it is time for us to move into the men's flyweight division. Nano, tell us who you got leading the way when it comes to the men's flyweights.
Yeah, man, this is a fun one as well, and part of it might be because I met him over at UFC.
You got nothing for me, boy.
You got nothing for me, boy. And that's Alexandre Pantoja. And still, for me, I think his path to get here, man, beating both Brandons, Royval and Moreno, also dismantling Kaya Sakura there, really solidified Alexandre as the best on the planet at this time. I think there are a couple dark horses. Manel Kopp, certainly somebody in the conversation. Even Akai Kara-France as well at plus 400. Manel Kopp's in at plus 5. The hesitations I have, even with the Manel, is that he did lose to Kaya Sakura back in Ryzen in 2018. It was 6 years ago, so maybe I shouldn't hold too much against him. No, they both evolved since then. But even with Kai Kara-France as well, like he lost to Brandon Moreno more recently. That's 2 times he's lost to him. So I don't have a lot of faith in giving him higher odds than Brandon Moreno to potentially be champ. And I think all that's a nullified point when Alexandre he's beat Brandon beat Kai. It's like, I'm doing a little bit of MMA math here and deducting Alexandre as the guy. And still. So that's where my money's at. I'll put a full uni. maybe even 2 on our boy Alexandre, because he is plus 100 odds. So getting a little bit of money back. I'll probably sprinkle 2 knees on that one. Let's go, baby.
I love that, dude. It's not very often that we agree, and even less often that we agree at this level. I'm gonna keep this one super duper short and sweet. I'm gonna put a full unit on Alessandro Pantoja, but I am also going to put a full unit on someone else in this division, or rather a half unit on someone else in this division, I should say, and that is Charles Energy Johnson at plus 50,000. Right now, if you were to put a full unit on this man, you would get 501 units back. If you were to put a half unit on him like me, you'll get 250.5 units back. So that's why I have to do this. I have to put a half unit on the man. Charles Johnson looked undefeatable in 2025, and I don't think Pantoja is going to have the grappling prowess that he needs to beat this kind of man. So give me Charles Energy Johnson if they give him the shot, and if not, I think Pantoja sits on the throne as the crowned king of 2025. So I like Charles Johnson. Oh wait, did Dixon say the same shit? Hold on. Leroy said, "Oh, let's go back. Pantoja versus Figgy." Leroy said Steve Ursig, no bias, shifty eyes. I do like Steve Ursig a lot, bro. Kansas party boy. Hi guys. How we doing, brother? Leroy also said, one thing I know for sure, it won't be Pantoja by the end of the year. Ouch. Ouchtown population. You, my friend. Crossover MMA said Leroy, razor close fight. Ursig's got to work his way back to the KKFKO or after the KKFKO. Yes, he does. Dixon Sider. Shout out my guy. CJ. Charles Energy Johnson. Skullet Gang. All fucking day. Leroy said crossover MMA. Yeah, he's ranked 9th at the moment, which is fair. The division is stacked. Drew said Joshua Van will be top 5 by the end of the year. Book it. You can check the record, bud. Dixon Sider said CJ murdered Van. Literally. To which Drew responded, wait, that was Charles? Shit, never mind. You right. Crossover said, I like Van, but he is undersized at flyweight. I agree. It's tough. But let me tell you, man, Charles Johnson is here. He's the guy, and he's plus 50K. Plus 50,000 bet. Plus 50,000 point bet. No. Come on.
I like those odds.
How do you not sprinkle a little bit of salt on that, brother? And we're doing fantastic, Kansas Party Boy, too. How are you doing?
Great to have you.
Always great to have you. Yeah, there's nobody else I see beating Pantoja, but I do think Charles Johnson, if given the chance, he gets it done. And with that being said, we will steamroll right on through. We'll bring on through to the other side and go on and get into a little bit of men's flyweight here. Or no, is it? Yeah, men's flyweight, right?
I think we just
women's flyweight. Yep. Jeez Louise.
Oh no, are we on strawweight now? I think we're on straw.
No, we're on strawweight. I was gonna say no. We have one more weight class. Women's strawweight. Oh, just. We have Zhang Weili or Weili Zhang coming in at minus 150. Number 1 in your hearts and number 1 in your sports books, folks. And then we have Tatiana Suarez coming in at plus 140, jumping off of the injury train and onto the winning train here, folks. Man. Dixon Sider, we will definitely break down that fight. He said, can we take a moment to analyze CJ's next fight? He's fighting a murderer. I'm kind of worried. Yeah, we're going to break that one down right after we do this last weight class, my friend. I promise you. So there's a couple of viable options here. I mean, Weili Zhang, obviously a monster, a who's who as far as killers in the women's divisions across the board. But there are a couple of kind of dark horses, right? Now, my dark horses, I think Yan Xiaonan does better in a rematch. I'll tell you that. I think Virna Jandiroba Kakara does really good. It's just fun to say her nickname, bro. It's just fun to say her nickname. Can we just admit it? Tico Tech LLC with a comment that Sterling at S-Dogs MMA would love to read. I don't watch WMMA, but I love Wei Li Shang. Love that. The only monster I know is Naoya Inoue, my fucking guy. Bro, I mean, is he a monster or is he just a lion? Because he gets the lion's share of whatever the fuck he wants in the jungle that we call the square circle of the boxing world. Yeah, I love watching Naoya Inoue. I could do a whole video about that kid, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We are here to talk about Tatiana Suarez versus Zhang Weili, how you see it going, and who you see being the champion by the end of 2025. I just think the ring rust is going to prove to be a little bit too much. Give me Zhang Weili. My name is Zhang Weili. Remember me.
Hi, I'm in agreement with you, brother. I have all the same concerns. Tatiana Suarez is 34 years old now. She hasn't fought in a while. She #beat cancer, which is fantastic, but that doesn't help make you more likely to be world champion. Zhang Weili has all the tools, man. She's constantly been better a little bit each time we've seen her go out there. And I just don't think there's really a lot of other women in this division that pose serious threats to where, Zhang Weili can't have an answer for it. Like, she's great everywhere. The wrestling can be interesting that we're going to find out February 8th. Zhang Weili's going to face off against Tatiana Suarez. That's super exciting. But, and Tatiana's wrestling, like, it certainly is something that Zhang has had trouble with in the past. However, I think Zhang's going to find a way to get it done. She's been training with Henry Cejudo for quite some time as well. I think that should pay some sort of dividends when it comes to developing your wrestling game. So we'll see, man, come February 8th. But I do think that's going to be the hardest test. If and when Zhang gets through that, I do think it'll be smooth sailing for the rest of the year.
Yeah, man. I think she holds it down. Dude, shout out to the homie, the man, the myth, the legend, Yash. Let's fucking go. My guy. Dude, I'm going to have to pour up another shot for this guy. I don't think he's ever actually been in a live. My guy. I'm pouring one up for you, my brother. My brother. I hope life is treating you better than well. I hope it's treating you the best, my friend. I hope you and the wife are doing great, and happy to see you make it to a show, my friend. We are talking about the future champions, our predictions. We're making some fucking bullish bets. I don't know how long ago you tuned in, but placing a little plus 50,000 point odds bet here for funsies. Why not? We're talking about MMA futures. We'll do the parlay picks. Next week, I think. Yeah, next week we got our first fight card. Let's go. Let's go. Love to see it. Love to see it. Yash, this shot is for you, my friend. Thanks for joining the live. And for all the new viewers, we appreciate you. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Cheers to you all. So, again, if you just tuned in, Yash, my plus 50K pick is Charles Energy Johnson to be champion of the men's flyweight division by the end of 2025. And Nano, I got to ask, because I feel like it's been weeks. It has actually been weeks since we've talked live like this. Did you see after the Pantoja defense against Kai Asakura, when I was actually with the cousins out in Vegas for the Raiders game? Shout out Raiders. Did you hear Charles Johnson's name actually get brought up at the post-fight presser? They asked Jose Youngs, and again, I'm going to play the air horns again. I don't care if you guys are getting tired of it. Shout out the man, the myth, the legend, Jose Youngs from MMA Fighting. He is an absolute fucking beast, just a class act through and through. He's been in this game for a very, very long time. Always asks like the best hard-hitting questions at these pressers. And he asked Alessandro Pantoja what's next for him. And when Pantoja didn't really have much of an answer, he said, "What about Charles Johnson?" And Pantoja said, "Who's that?" which felt a little bit like deflecting to me. There's no way you don't know who Skull it is, brother. Come on.
Oh, man. Let's see. I mean,
he literally said, "Who's that?" He's top 10. Who's that?
Yeah, he may not know him, bro, to be honest with you.
Was he not the most active flyweight of 2024, though? Come on.
Yeah. Alexandre, I mean, he doesn't strike me. I know. He doesn't strike me as a guy that he probably doesn't watch UFC. I don't know if we've seen him at a lot of events. Actually, maybe we have, but
man,
that's pretty funny though.
He literally said, "Who's that?"
Oh,
that's tough. It's a tough response. But with that being said, we do have a fan request here. Dix Insider said, "Can we take some time to analyze CJ's next fight? He's fighting a murderer. I'm kind of worried." So we're gonna jump on into it. We got Charles Energy Johnson just bringing in the new year, March 1st, against Ramazan Timirov. Man, Ramazan Timirov, nicknamed Timurlan, currently on a 10-fight win streak. No big deal. He's 18-2. Pretty big deal, actually, if I'm being completely honest here. Fighting out of Muradov Legion team and fighting out of Uzbekistan, Karshi, Uzbekistan to be exact. I mean, look, this young man's a stud, right? Out of his 18 wins, 11 of them have come by way of knockout or TKO, 1 by submission and 6 by decision. And his most recent 4 are Kayak Alankar, Yuta Hamamoto, Takashi Soya, and a name you guys might actually have heard of, CJ Vergara. I mean, this is a tough fight. This is a tough fight for him, make no mistake about it. But give me the Skullet Gang, brother. Give me Charles Energy Johnson. I think he wins this fight. I think he's able to negate the grappling prowess that comes with it. And since Ramazan is more of a knockout artist, that actually serves more into the factor of Charles Energy Johnson because he is a grinder of a fighter. And if you stand up with him, if there's anything we've learned, I mean, same with Joshua Van in round 3, getting that uppercut for his troubles. He's got something for you 9 out of 10 times. Dono, what do you think about that fight against the Uzbekistani man himself?
Yeah. Like Tico Tech said, shout out to Uzbeks. Yeah, man, I would feel that your concern for Charles G is certainly warranted. Like, this guy seems to be pretty legitimate. Ramazan Timirov had a really good outing against CJ Vergara. I mean, just looking at him, like, dude looks powerful, and he showed that in his fight against CJ. He definitely, I would say, threw caution to the wind. Like, definitely someone that just felt like was throwing nothing but haymakers and almost was off balance at times. I don't want to say it was sloppy because he was showing really good defense as well, like moving his head, getting out of range, proved to be a really good athlete. A lot of things that Charles Ender Johnson G does well also. But man, I mean, I think the wrestling, I think the just the strength, and we just don't know how durable he is, but there's a lot of reasons why I would be staying up at night. But I know Charles is motivated. He has a little bit more tread on the tires in a good way. Like, he's been under the bright lights more often. He's seen different types of fighters at the highest level, and he's gone through it. He's ranked for a reason. All to say, though, that's I'd be worried. You took the tape on, and you don't see a lot of holes outside of, like, hey, you got to avoid the bombs. But hey, I guess that is it, right? You avoid the bombs. He leaves himself open, leaves himself overextended. He might literally like fall or get off balance. So gotta be ready. Gotta be ready to land one. But that's what Charles Johnson does. I feel good about that. I feel good about Charles being able to pick his shots and just can't make any mistakes. That's the thing. Can't make any mistakes. But that's what happens at this level. It's only going to get more and more higher stakes, and people with more well-rounded skill sets or different things that they pose, different threats. So shout out Charles G, man. Charles Johnson. I think CJ definitely can get it done, but this will be a statement win if and when he does.
Yeah, man, I completely agree. And also, folks, look, if you are in the chat right now, whether it's on YouTube, on Twitter, it looks like there's about 8 of you guys on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. We appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to throw something up in the chat right now. It won't show up for Twitter, so I'll go back and post it on Twitter again. You can find it on my Twitter if you look it up, though. Look hard enough. But again, if you are on YouTube, if you are on Twitch, you will see this pop up, the little forms link there. It is a link to go and vote for the MMAnomaly Awards for 2024, folks. Please vote on those. The more votes, the merrier. I mean, the more responses we get, the more accurate answers we get overall, right? The more polled decisions we get, and the better it is for us. I love doing this. I spent probably like 40 hours doing editing last year. I'll probably do the same this year. It is a labor of love. I love doing it, folks, because it's just so much fun to see all of your responses, to go through your responses, and to have this award ceremony and see truly how different everybody that we interact with on all platforms, how you digested the mixed martial arts that we witnessed in 2024, what your favorite knockouts were, what your favorite male fighter of the year was, what your favorite MMAnomaly of the year was, right? And of course, just in case you're confused on that question, MMAnomaly, first part of the word, we're going to break it down for you root style. MMA, mixed martial arts. We all know what that is if you're here. Anomaly just means something that's a little bit different. So the MMAnomaly Award is simply somebody that showed out to you, somebody that stood out to you that was built a little bit different in their respective weight class or just in general, right? Maybe it's a Money Moicano. Maybe it's Carlos Prates, right? Smoking cigarettes, drinking whiskey, and knocking people out 4 times this year. But either way, folks, we appreciate each and every one of you for tuning into all of the episodes that you tuned into last year. And preemptively, we appreciate you for tuning in this year. So before we break and call it an episode, I just want to ask Nano quickly. We already have a handful of cards that are slated, right? And UFC 311 is arguably the best one so far. It's not that far away. It's really not that far away. It's January 18th. And if I'm being honest with you, I'm probably going to pull the trigger later this week and buy tickets. So let's talk about that for just a second. We got Islam Makhachev coming in against Arman Sarukian. That's right. We got Merab Dvalishvili coming in against... That's right. And we got Yuri Prokaska coming in against Jamal Hill. I don't know who's going to win, but either way, as Yuri Prokaska once said, I am coming! So, look, folks, with that 3-leg headliner, how could it not be an incredible fight card? And I'll tell you this, I'll do you one better. Before those 3, not after those 3, before those 3, we got Benny from the block. Benil Dariush coming in against Hinato Wants Fucking Money. Moicano coming in against Benil Dariush. And then before that, starting off this legendary pay-per-view, we got Big Mouth himself, Kevin Holland, coming in against the standout from another promotion, Renier, the Dutch Knight der Ridder. Nano, any standouts in this fight card? Like what are you most excited about? What are you least excited about? Just tell the people how you feel.
I mean, brother, this whole main card is absolutely stacked. I know we just came off a year with UFC 300 that had 12 previous and current champions. This obviously isn't as decorated with gold, but boy, am I excited for this one, man. The whole card, that whole main card, absolutely exciting. You mentioned the top 3. Kevin Holland versus RDR is another fun one, but I'm going to go to the preliminary card. So there's a few fighters here, but we got to talk about our boy Peyton Talbot on the undercard here. Going up against Raoni Barcelos. Love that. That's a great matchup.
Raoni is arguably his biggest test. I think we can all agree with that.
It's the right caliber. It's the right litmus test for Peyton Talbot at this stage. He's getting all the notoriety. He's been showing out. You got a Jailton Almeida against a Sergey Spivak as well. I mean, come on. Implications, baby. That's the number 3 most likely champ as of now. And then Johnny Walker. I'll be drinking some Black Label for him. Fighting against a Bogdan Gustav. Tough opponent. But these are just footnotes to the very appetizing main event. So I answered your question with, a few responses there. But if I had to pick one outside of the main event, definitely Payne Talbot, signing up for that show any day of the week. On the main card, though, hey, it's Money Moicano time. Him against Beneil Dariush. We met Beneil. Big fan of Renato Moicano, so I'll be split, but that's a stylistic matchup I'm really curious to see. Let's go, baby. Come on. That's a money card.
That is a money card. And shout out C. Pete in the chat, my friend.
We see you, Pete. What's
we
good,
appreciate
baby?
you. We appreciate you, Pete. And Pete, is that even your real name, Pete? Is it? No, but again, this fight is fucking money, just written all over it. If you look at the prelims, no. I mean, Johnny Walker, Peyton, Jailton. Did you even mention the fact that your man crush is on the prelims? We got Zachary Reese on there, bro. I know. I mean, are you not claiming him after the loss? Okay, all right.
I know. Tucked him in the back. He's on the bench right now, but still the boy. And yeah, I didn't notice that on there. But other
going
guys
against
I'm excited about.
Cedric Dumas, SD, the Reaper Dumas. He agreed to be on the show, and then we decided not to go through with that after seeing that he had more mugshots than professional fights. So we cannot condone that kind of activity on the MMAnomaly Show. It is no filter, folks. It is no filter. With that being said, I really don't want to end on that note. So let's just talk about one quick fight coming up this week, or rather next. Nano, I want you to pick one fight from the upcoming Fight Night card for us to go over. So we have Mackenzie Dern versus Amanda Ribas, Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Carlston Harris, Cesar Almeida, Abdul Razak Al Hassan. I think the one you're. Can I take a guess at the one you probably want to talk about?
Oh man, I mean, yeah, take a stab. There are some good fights on here, but I'm listening.
I feel like, and again, like don't just agree with me to make me feel good. I feel like the fight you're probably most excited about is either Mackenzie Dern versus Amanda Ribas 2 or Chris Curtis versus Roman Kopylov.
Damn, you got me. Definitely got me there.
I knew it was Chris. I knew it was Chris.
Chris Curtis, Roman Kopylov too.
Man.
The action man. Yeah, brother. That's definitely one I'm excited about. Roman Kopylov getting back in there. Chris Curtis, absolute dog. I mean, never a boring fight. So that's definitely one I was circling as one I'd be eyeing. Obviously, Mackenzie Dern, Amanda Ribas, a lot of implications there. Love seeing that. Puna Haley Soriano against Sayuro, the medic, the doctor. That one's going to be fun as well, brother. I mean, to start the main card, fireworks. Make sure y'all are tuned in. Butts in seats. It's going to be a good one. And our boy Trey Ogden, shout out. Garrett Armfield, shout out them boys out in Kansas City.
Boys. I was chatting with Garrett last night, actually.
Let's go. Had to sneak that in as
homie,
well.
Dude. Love that guy.
Yep. So it's definitely rooting for Trey as well.
Always root for those guys, man. Always root for those guys. Yeah, I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't most looking forward to Chris Curtis versus Roman Kopylov. I just think it's going to answer a lot of questions for both young men. Speaking of answering questions for both young men, C-Rod, Christian Rodriguez versus Austin Bashi. I mean, Bashi's 13-0. Dude looks like just an absolute beast in every sense of the word. But I mean, this is the biggest test of his fucking life. And he's going against a guy in Christian Rodriguez whose, I mean, sole purpose in life is essentially to dethrone hype trains, if we're being honest here, right? Like, he did it to Raul Rosas Jr., he did it to Cameron Simon, and then he did it to Isaac Dolgarian. I mean, like, come on. Come on. The only hype train he lost to hasn't won a fight since he beat him. And that's Jonathan Pierce, JSP. I thought that guy was going to be the next big thing. So I like C-Rod. I like C-Rod a lot in this one, man. Dixon Sider said Fat C-Rod got exposed by Juicy J for gassing at altitude. Dixon, my guy, I love you. One of the best display names in the game. And an even better fucking display picture. But I just can't get behind that. I can't get behind that because Juicy J, like, I won money on that fight, first of all. Count the units. Juicy J has won me a lot more units than many more fighters that I've bet on. So I just think that Juicy J can beat anybody he wants to, and sometimes he doesn't show up. So C-Rod's a good fighter. I just wouldn't bet him over Juicy J. I just wouldn't do it. Just wouldn't do it.
I feel it. I respect it.
Nasty Gilly, as Dixon Sider said. Brother, Dustin Poirier literally was like, there it is. There it is. He was screaming at the TV. I just know it.
Yeah, T1 the Leonardo gif. That's definitely what he was doing.
Again, love that you know where I'm coming from at all fucking times, man. We will go over these fights in totality next week, folks. We'll probably be doing a couple of videos on this because we got an extra video to kill next week, right? With that being said, we appreciate you. There are double digits of you folks tuning in right now. If you're new, if you're old, you know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, smash that bell for notifications, folks. And we hope to see you here next week. I'd like to see same place, but that's wrong. It won't be the same time. It'll be the same place though, at MMAnomaly on all platforms. If you want to give this guy a follow as well, we'd appreciate it. He's on Twitter. He's posting some of them takes and some of his bets over there at Jive Turkey Nano. Make sure you drop the follow there, folks. And again, as soon as we wrap up, leave a comment, not a live one, but a comment after the show, please. It really, really helps with the almighty algorithm, which we bow to every day. So with that being said, again, last, but certainly not least, if you don't do any of the other stuff we asked you to do before, that's fine. The only thing we really, really are a stickler on is this. We want you to do these next two things. We want you to keep on going in 2025, and we want you to keep on growing in 2025. And before we end, I'd be remiss if I didn't say Dakota DeChiva. Probably going to make a fucking storm in the UFC, folks. So let's go ahead and roll that outro. Nano, I fucking love you. So happy to have you back. Fans, friends, MMA enthusiasts. Until next time, we'll see you.
You've been listening to the MMAnomaly Show. No filter. As you may have been able to tell, we dig the MMA, and our passion is to dive deep into the upcoming fights, give you our expert breakdowns, and help you make sense of all the chaos that is the fight game. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon, but in the meantime, make sure to find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at MMAnomaly. Be cool, and we'll see you next time.